Obi Ezekwesili reacts as Supreme Court affirms Tinubu as the winner of the 2023 presidential election. Everybody's reacting, I tell you. So let's hear what Obi Ezekwesili has to say in her reaction as well. Well, the former Minister of Education and a human rights activist, Dr. Mrs. Obi Ezekwesili, has reacted to the affirmation of President Bola Tinubu as the authentic winner of the 2023 presidential election by the Supreme Court. While reacting, the former education minister made it known that now we all know the true definition of a criminal enterprise gang, thereby demanding to where the country's hope lies. Demanding to know where the country's hope lies. She went on and demanded to know what Nigerian citizens who seek for a good society do in the light of judicial enthronement of criminality as an official norm. Dr. Mrs. Ezekwesili went on and noted that history shows that every criminal enterprise carries the seed of its eventual destruction. Dr. Mrs. Obi Ezekwesili made this disclosure in a post she made on her official X handle shortly after the Supreme Court affirmed Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the authentic winner of the February 25 presidential election. In addition, she urged Nigerians not to be deceived, noting that nature abhors dishonest gains and knows how to deal with it from the inside. Now we all know the true definition of a criminal enterprise gang. Some would ask, where is now the hope? Because what else can citizens who seek a good society now do in the light of judicial enthronement of criminality as an official norm? Well, take heart in this fact. History shows that every criminal enterprise carries the seed of its eventual destruction. So do not be deceived. Nature abhors dishonest gains and knows how to deal with it from the inside. So it should be recalled that Justice John Okoro, who led the panel of 5 Supreme Court justices, today delivered the judgment in the appeal brought forth by Peter Obi of the Labour Party and his PDP counterpart, Atiku Abubakar. This appeal contested the ruling of the Presidential Election Petition Court, which affirmed Bola Tinubu's victory in February. So that is what Obi Ezekwesili is trying to say here, that of course, Judiciary has finally enthroned the government of a criminal gang, and where then lies the hope of Nigerian citizens? That is it. What then can Nigerian citizens who hope for a better nation do after now? There's obviously nothing. So what he's trying to say is that nature abhors dishonesty, and in what has happened, every criminal entity that enters itself also carries in it the seed of destruction. So what it means is that when nature bounces back on dishonest entity, the seed that is carrying within it will surely destroy it. That is what she's trying to say here. Well, it is what it is. What we know now is that judiciary in Nigeria is not the last hope of a common man, and has connived with the executive and the legislators to put Nigeria where it is. It is quite obvious. The question is, when will Nigeria get out of this kind of mess? Because Nigeria is not a country where good is evil and evil is good. That is the way it is now. People are already reacting. It's always saying, Madam, go and appeal the judgment in Chicago, US. You lost your sense and integrity because of ethnicity agenda. And somebody say, no tribe in Nigeria that is more tribalistic than the Yoruba race. Somebody supporting a man whose identity and educational background are unknown, even a drug baron certificate forger to become president. That's what somebody saying there. And someone said, disappointing from a former minister. Democracy is about accepting the will of the people. Which will of the people what we have now is the will of the judiciary and not the will of the people. The same thing they did by bringing Hope Uzodinma in Imo State is the same thing they have done affirming Akpabio and Ahmad Lawan as senators when they did not participate in the election primaries is exactly what we are seeing here. Okay, so what we have in Nigeria is democracy, which is the will of the judiciary and not the will of the people. And somebody saying Tinubu did not win 2023 election, and this is a northerner saying this. Where are the people, bro? Tribal warriors. They're already insulting Ezekwesili for saying what she said. They're already quarreling and insulting themselves here, but we can't read some of the things they're trying to write. Somebody say, my beloved sister, calm down. Nigeria is greater than an individual ambition. Power belongs to God and he gives to whom he wills. Only one person can win. Let us work together. Well, that seems like a more neutral comment from somebody who is trying to be objective. Somebody said, that is not the case, my dear. The challenge is what this adoption portends for this nation. It is a shame. Yes. And don't call God before Shango. Okay, go before Shango go come meet you there. So the issue here is it's not about who is in the throne now. It's about the antecedent. It's about the precedents we are setting. It's about the things that we're establishing now, what it portends for Nigeria, and what does that present to Nigeria going forward. Where does that put Nigeria going forward? What kind of foundation are we laying for the future? That is exactly the question here. And someone is telling Ezekwesili here, you can still go to Supreme Court of Heaven. Useless woman, can you imagine? They're already insulting her. Okay. And somebody is saying, by saying that she should go to Supreme Court of Heaven means that you are mocking and insulting God. What you will tell God, okay, on the last day of judgment, if at all you believe in God. Somebody say, Madam, please, did any of the opposition candidates in any way say that this is where they win the election? No. So why are you crying? Okay. No opposition ever mentioned where they won, okay, but only cancellation and certificate forgery, whereas the law doesn't stand on emotion or public opinion, but the fact from evidence standard. So what are the evidence? Okay, what are the evidence? Nigeria is in, that's what I know. Judiciary won shares from National Cake too. Okay, they inaugurate criminal enterprise. That is it. So the thing here is a very difficult one. I think the whole blame goes to judiciary for not being honest. Judiciary is a big problem in Nigeria. That means that if you have a case in Nigeria, just find a way to let it be. The court is not the best place. The police is not the best place. The Nigerian law enforcement agent, that is the law enforcement arm of the government, is now finished, have been pocketed by the executive and the legislators. That is it. So, sorry for Nigeria. That is the situation right now. Thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.